When we are engrossed with our own lives, we cannot see these problems surfacing within our own community.
When student volunteers work with us, they are our advocates and they are our marketing manager as well.
For us, we like volunteers who come because they want to come and do. They want to spend that time to volunteer with us.
So initially when I just started volunteering with them, I thought that it would just be me going down to help them out in whatever they want, but in fact I actually learned a lot from them. After hanging out with them, my impression of them actually changed really drastically because they're actually one of the most independent, forward-looking and driven individuals that I've actually ever met.
They want to have the students involved in social causes and to make them aware that not only money making is the world out there, but there's also a social impact that you can create by giving something that's not really generating money.
As elderlies grew older, they have lesser time to communicate and interact with their children. Personally, I feel that this is a social problem. After I've joined CWA, they actually introduced us to a 2-day lesson which helped us to learn how to interact and communicate better with the elderlies when we are volunteering.
We mainly focus on the fact that we want to beat social isolation and loneliness among seniors and other people with less ability because they're not able to go out.
Research has documented the relationship between social isolation and elderly depression and other negative detrimental consequences for the elderly. So we hope that through the cycling we can establish a rapport and then build a trusting relationship so that they can start expressing and start talking about their feelings. While we trishaw cycle them, it's the most opportune time for them to recollect memories of their neighborhood and also share their stories with us. My name is Jolene and I'm the project leader for Cycling Without Age. So before I started the project, I think similar to what society perceives of the elderly as weak and feeble. I think through the cycling, after establishing a rapport, my opinion has changed from something that is more stereotypical, something that perpetuates the ageism in Singapore, to something that's more positive and more balanced. I recognize that, they're actually pretty similar to us. We're all also trying to live our life to the fullest. So I think society and myself included have to move from a more stereotypical negative view of them to a more balanced view that recognizes them as people who have a rich history of knowledge, experience and also wisdom to share with the society.
I'm Farrell. I'm a Year 2 Human Resource student at SUSS. Currently, I'm working on this project with Failure Student Care Services at Choa Chu Kang. So we come in to provide tutoring services for them after their school hours. During my first encounter with the children at Failure Student Care Services, they tend to be quite rowdy, they tend to be a bit loud, and some of them were quite difficult to handle. When I first started out this service learning project, I do know that children are being sent to the student care as their parents do not have the capability to take care of their child. And I did not think of it as an issue until I actually came in to start on this service learning project, which made me realize that they seem to lack care and concern provided by their parents or guardians, as sometimes their parents have hectic work schedules or they need to attend to other needs within the household. So there was this particular incident whereby we brought the kids to Gardens by the Bay. So for some of these kids, they come from low-income families, or that their parents, they have hectic work schedules, they are unable to bring their kids out to these local attractions. So when we planned this event, the kids were actually quite grateful. And whenever we plan events such as Going Gardens by the Bay, we try to provide an enriching educational experience for the kids.
Hi, my name is Amirul. I'm a second year HRM student at SUSS. I'm currently partnering with Kampong Chai Chi Youth as a Community, or YEC, under the banner of the People's Association.
The focus of the YEC is to engage our youth residents in contributing back to their community in achieving a more inclusive society. We actually give them some time to be observers, and from then we actually involve them in some of our projects to let them gain some experience before they actually plan a project of their own.
For us, we are doing more on community building. So we are trying to conduct activities or engage residents in various aspects of community building through the community clubs, such as doing activities like amazing races or conducting workshops to further develop their understanding of the community. We are working together with a variety of groups, from seniors to adults to even young children and teenagers, or even yet families as a whole. I guess I gained from this experience better understanding of my own leadership and how I can improve further as a leader, while at the same time I better understand how the community is and how people bond together as one.
So actually the original outcome was for me to get to know about this disease and just to devote my time to helping them. But now, after prolonged getting to know them, my outcome now is to really get to know them as individuals instead of just knowing their disease. Hi, my name is Jovi. I'm one of the co-founders of MDSG, which is Muscular Dystrophy Service Group, and we are in collaboration with MDAS, which is Muscular Dystrophy Association of Singapore.
The Muscular Dystrophy Association provides care and support for people with muscular dystrophy and their families. Because muscular dystrophy is a severe condition, it's life-threatening and it's very disabling. Despite this, we provide a whole host of programs and activities so that our members can live life to the fullest. So with the help of volunteers, it makes things possible. For us, we like volunteers who come because they want to come and do. They want to spend their time to volunteer with us. And not just for that period of a few months, but for a period of a year or more. So with that kind of relationship, it builds that kind of bond with our members. Then they end up as friends. And I think that's a better learning point of being involved in volunteering.
Hi, my name is Desmond Lam. I'm a 19-year-old and I play boccia since 2016.
I've worked with him since 1+ years ago, and I've seen how he grew from the start. So he used to shoot the balls all around the court everywhere, but I've seen him grow in accuracy and focus, and he became more confident in his playing. So I feel very happy to help him achieve this goal. Hi, my name is Mika. I am 24 this year. I'm studying at SUSS. I've been volunteering at MDS for about a year plus now. And what I do is I train with Desmond as an assistant for the boccia games. The aim of the boccia game is to get close to the white ball as possible. So I work as his partner or assistant to work as his hands and legs to move the ramp according to his whatever he tells me to, and he's the brain and eyes to see the court, because I'm not allowed to see the court as an assistant. Then with these two things, we work together very cohesively to achieve the goal.
At first, we didn't know much about each other, but after I told him how the boccia game rule works, he became my assistant already.
We're all very blur about the game, so we don't know what's happening sometimes, and he had to tell me things, I have to tell him things. Over time, we had a lot of training together, so we keep running through the same thing again and again, because training is all about practice and practice. So we train with the same games, and then slowly I figure out what he wants and he figure out what I can do. So that's how we sync together very well. That's how we end up achieving a bronze and silver medal together.
So it's like a good achievement to me and him. Without Mika, I wouldn't be able to achieve the dream.
Desmond, I feel that he changed a lot since the start. In terms of socially and playing, he became more confident and good in his playing. But I suppose for both of us, in socially we've grown comfortably with each other, so we can talk about anything under the sun. And we are able to tell each other things, be more direct with each other, you know what I mean.
When I was young, my parents would actually bring me down to Sungai Buloh Nature Reserve ever since I was a kid. And eventually, as I grew up, I have a sense of attachment to this place. Hi, my name is Marvin, and I'm a student leader leading a service learning project called Wild Marines X and Parks. My project mainly focuses on conservation work and outreach programs. Some of the programs that we do in Sungai Buloh include mangrove planting at the Kranji extension, and at the same time we also work on mangrove and nursery care at the A5 nursery in Sungai Buloh.
Specifically for Sungai Buloh Wetland Reserve, we are the only legally gazetted wetland reserve out of the 4 nature reserves in Singapore. Thus, our main job is really to promote wetland conservation, to act as a refuge for the biodiversity in terms of wetlands and migratory birds in Singapore. One of the main strategies for conservation of our natural heritage for biodiversity in Singapore especially is to work very closely with the community, because it is through nurturing the common stewardship of our biodiversity and environment that we're able to protect them adequately. So students, volunteers are actually one of the very important components that we work with, especially from the higher learning institutes where these students are more independent. They can also help us to lead community-related programs where they can bring elderly, they can bring children out to enjoy outdoors.
One of the upcoming projects that we have at the moment is actually a program curated by SUSS. It's called Let's Go Jalan Jalan. The program is about creating outreach and some basic education on understanding why we conserve mangroves. For this program, we are actually providing a guided walk to the elderly community. I think it is really important for us as individuals to understand the whole process of service learning. It's not about doing labor work or extending our efforts for some of the programs, but in addition, we ourselves need to be aware of what are some of the learning opportunities that the community can offer. And I think this asset-based approach will make any service learning a very meaningful one.